So I just thought about this. We have a lot of undiagnosed people with mental illness, and they make it. They make it through. Some commit suicide. And I just wanted to say a movie that, because I've had so many hospitalizations for bipolar disorder, and my daughter just said, "You don't have a good reputation around town." And I'm like, people just like to gossip. I mean, they don't understand my brain, and if I get angry, it's probably because my brain chemicals are not good. And if people knew how I suffered with the stigma of, like, you can't, okay, I'm looking for a place to live, but I can't call anybody because they're like, oh, you got bipolar. I did meet a professor out in San Diego who said, yeah, come right over, let's meet you. So some people are creative forces in acceptance that this is part of the deal. Plus, I try to take my medicine, and it's not perfect, and I am different. I think I'm kind of a weirdo. But I don't have any criminal record, and I am creative. I do things outside the box. But a long time ago, when I was in Harrisonburg, this movie came out called Benny and June. And I've watched it several times because it means so much to me that the actor Johnny Depp did that movie to promote mental health. And I think his name was Sam, and Benny was her brother, and he fixed cars. And all the stuff that happened to her and that she had her mental illness did not deter Mr. Depp, one of probably the most famous actor of his day, gifted, obviously. And he chose that film for a reason. He chose it because he doesn't want people to be discounted as human. He wants people to be as well as they can be, and he wants them to have family and love. Obviously, or he wouldn't become Buster Keaton. And even at a young age, I think Johnny Depp has got a feel for the underdog. And definitely in our society, not just the black people, but the mentally ill people are discounted and not given proper. I mean, my one doctor didn't get me the right medication, and finally I went to another doctor because she said I had to leave. She said, I was sticking with her to try to work out the medication. It's like a heart attack, and somebody dies of a heart attack. Well, they didn't have the right medication. It's a little simpler with heart than brain. It gets a little more complicated. But publicly, Glenn Close has stepped up to the plate. My sister Hot, she wanted to. So many people, because of how we're raised, not to talk about mental health. And Glenn Close has Bring Change to Mind to talk about it, but you got to have the ideas about it. You have to have experienced it. So all the people that have experienced it, the mentally unstable situations, very rarely do they get that violent. Sometimes they do. But so to come up with creative ideas, I will enlist Johnny Depp to make a movie, and I have a score. It's pretty abstract, but I have a bunch of different situations and ideas to go through, and I'll be putting that out in the next 6 months. I don't want people to have a hard time with me. I don't want them to dislike me. That's like a horse or a dog in his pack. But we turn our backs and we kick like a horse. Get the hell out if you're mentally ill. And they don't understand how to encircle you with love and get you the help you need. And I think if you watch Johnny Depp and Benny June, you can see what he does. And open your mind that everyone has some mental illness at times. It may not be chronic and they may not require medicine. But, I mean, I read Kay Jamison's book, and she was able to go to school and get a degree and become a doctor. Not everybody has that. I feel like my experience, although I think my experience in this world would give me a doctor of fine art. I suffer. Today I suffer. At age 52, there's no really open housing to get me started, like a room. And everywhere it's like a year wait, or you have to be on the street homeless for 6 months. Johnny, that's not right. We got to fix that. They're putting, drug addicts and stuff up in places. and poor black up in places before me. And some people think, oh, she's, rich. I'm not. My dad suffers. He took all of his inheritance to give himself a house, and he spent it all because he's bipolar. So, my kids are housing me, and they're trying to figure it out. Because over the past 10 years, the policy's been like, don't pick the phone up, stonewall her, maybe she'll get better. But when it's chemicals in the brain, you need support. And it was really tough, but I had some friends that got me through to the point now where I'm in relation now with my kids, which they wouldn't. The whole family just kind of blocked me. They said, don't talk to her, and that's not ethical. But they don't know that. And I'm not going to tell them, but I want the movie to tell them that you need to step up. This person's sick. It's no different than an intellectually disabled person that needs help. You wouldn't leave a Down syndrome person living on the street. Sure, they're benign, they don't have anger, and there's lots of love. And those people get help. But when you have an ugly temper or you're outside the box with schizophrenia, you need surrounding of people that understand that and that understand it's your brain. And even if they can't really fix it, a contact, like if you go in the hospital, they contact you, they give you a call, or they pick the phone up when you call. And my mom would listen to me for so long, and finally and I was suffering. I was taking my meds, but I tried to kill myself. And my doctor just simply didn't have the ability to prescribe the right medication. She didn't know. And so I struggled with that for so many years. But I don't want that to happen with other people. I want them to get cured right away, like within 6 months, they're better. Because 10 years is a freaking long time to be sick. And I made a lot of art, and I gave a lot of art away, and I do performance art. And I'm sorry that my oldest daughter thinks the whole community doesn't like. She said, you don't have the best reputation. I know, and I know some places I do. But Johnny's just got such a good voice to do a movie on this. And I really do have a good story that might help with world peace. And also, if we could get at least the United States to be better, it's not a joke. People are dying on the street. There's violence at times, and we're just in the dark. I'm not, because I've been suffering this for 10 years. I have have the light about this, and trust me, I have some friends that suffer bipolar, and when they're angry and very upsetting, I tend to strong-arm them. I'm like, I'll meet you and talk to you when you get out of the hospital, or when they're in the hospital. But if someone's enraged with bipolar, you can say, I'm not going to talk to you right now. It's too upsetting for me. But my whole family's very, very wealthy, and I don't know why the stigma is causing me to be treated as the outsider. You have to be. I didn't go to family functions, and I don't know. They probably have their own psychological issues too, and that's why we need to bring it to the public in the schools. Thank you.